My name is Fred Korematsu. I was born on January 30th, 1919, in Oakland, California. My parents were Japanese immigrants who came to the U.S. to work hard and build a life. They owned a flower shop, and like so many others, they believed America was a land of opportunity. But in 1942, everything changed. The bombing of Pearl Harbor didn't just bring war. It brought hatred, suspicion, and fear. People like me, Japanese Americans, became targets. The government decided that we couldn't be trusted. They ordered all Japanese Americans to be forcibly relocated to internment camps, as if our loyalty to America was somehow in question, just because of the way we looked. They didn't care that I was born here, that I had a brother who fought for America in World War II. They saw us as enemies, just because of our heritage. But I wasn't going to take that sitting down. I wasn't going to just pack up and leave. I had grown up in America, and this was my home. I defied the orders. I resisted the government's decision to send us to those camps. I went into hiding, using a false name. I tried to live my life like I always had, free, proud, and unafraid. But my decision didn't go unnoticed. In 1942, I was arrested. I was charged with violating the military orders. I was handcuffed and taken to jail. My case eventually made its way to the U.S. Supreme Court, and in 1944, they ruled against me in Korematsu versus United States. The court upheld the internment, citing wartime necessity. But I didn't give up. I knew I was right. I knew it was wrong to imprison over 120,000 innocent people based solely on their race. I kept fighting, even though the system seemed stacked against me. In 1983, after decades of struggle, my case was reopened. New evidence came to light showing that the government had deliberately misled the courts and the American people. The conviction was overturned. The internment was a stain on America's history, but it wasn't just my fight. It was the fight of every single Japanese American who was unjustly imprisoned. It was the fight for justice, for equality, for the principles this country was supposed to stand for. Even after the war ended and the camps closed, life didn't get easier. We had lost our homes, our businesses, our dignity. My family and I faced prejudice everywhere we went. We were treated as if we had betrayed our country, even though we had been loyal citizens the entire time. But through all of it, I refused to let the government's wrongs define who I was. I spoke out, sharing my story so others wouldn't forget. I worked to ensure that the mistakes of the past weren't repeated, speaking out against racial injustice whenever I saw it. I lived to see the government issue an official apology for the internment, and I received a Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Bill Clinton in 1998. But the most important thing to me wasn't the recognition. It was knowing that the fight for justice had not been in vain. I died on March 30th, 2005, but I hope that my story, my defiance, my resilience, continues to remind people that no one should ever be judged by the color of their skin or the ancestry they carry. And no one, no matter what, should ever be stripped of their rights simply because of who they are. My name is Fred Korematsu, and I fought for freedom, for every American, not just myself.